Welcome. Thanks for joining me today. This practice will focus on prevention of back pain, specifically in the low back. It's a chronic area of pain for a lot of people, and that deals with having really tight hamstrings, hips, and not enough strong core. And this is very near and dear to me. This is something that's happened to me throughout my whole life. I've dealt with back pain, so I really focus on that area throughout my entire practice all the time. So this is basically kind of the beginning part, is what I did in bed for maybe many months out of the year when my back was acting up. Luckily, I haven't had any issues since, knock on wood there. But this is a great sequence to come to time and time again when your back's feeling like it needs a little bit of extra support. So when you're ready, make sure you have 2 blocks handy, your strap for sure, and we're gonna start on our backs. So we're gonna lay down onto your back. You don't need anything else underneath you, just come to your back. And once you find your back, bend your knees, especially if your back is gonna be a little iffy today. Bend your knees, make your feet as wide as your mat and let those knees drop in. Hands are just gonna rest on your belly. And then start to settle in here, maybe lengthen the tailbone down toward the end of your mat. You'll have a nice long spine. And then wherever you are in your breathing cycle, exhale fully. And start to deepen that breath, inhaling and exhaling a little deeper here. Letting that breath become full, and as you're ready, start to engage that Uja Pranayama, that slight constriction of the back of the throat, allowing that sound to take over your mind. And then as that does, allow your mind, body, and spirit to be here on your mat, focusing on that breath. Just kind of take inventory here. Notice the hips, the hamstrings, the low back as you lay here. Maybe even noticing the shoulders, any tension that's there, and try to relieve those as you exhale each time. And start to set an intention for this practice. Having an intention of feeling strong, feeling stable, maybe feeling healthy. So whatever's going to stick there, something with your low back. And I like feeling stable in my low back. So having that intention in your mind's eye. And every time you inhale, feel that intention setting. And as you exhale, feel that intention spreading through your body. Just allowing it to be here in the room with your practice. And wherever you are in your breathing cycle, exhale fully. Take a full inhale, fill the belly, fill the chest, all the way up to the collarbones. Hold the breath for a moment. Think of that intention. And then open the mouth, sigh it out. And then slowly bring that breath back to the Uja Pranayama. Slow inhales and exhales. Let those eyes blink open if they're closed. And as you inhale, bring your knees to center. Keep that left knee bent. Draw that right knee into your chest. Just hug it in. So whether you're holding onto the front of the shin, maybe you're holding onto the back of the thigh. If you have knee issues, back of the thigh is a great place. Flex the foot. And then lengthen that tailbone down. And just breathe. Nice full inhales and exhales. If this is one of your better back days and you want to go a little bit further into your stretching, you can always straighten this left leg. So that's always going to be an option for you. I'm going to stick with the modified version for those people who have more pain in their low back and don't want to press their range of motion just now. And then from here, exhale fully. And then on your next inhale, start to straighten that leg. So you have the hand behind the thigh. If you feel that that's too much pressure and you're kind of rounding up at the shoulders and you can't relax, take that strap, place it around the ball of the foot, and extend that leg up. So now you notice my shoulders can relax. Spread through the toes. Engage the quadricep. Lengthen the tailbone down, and then see if you can lengthen that right sideways. So it's going to lengthen down. So you're really getting into your hamstrings, maybe into the outer hip here. And let those shoulders relax. Let your breath be full. And then taking that leg, and you're going to bring it across your body slightly. So take the strap, if you're using the strap, place it in your left hand. And then place that right hand, just kind of draw that right hip down. So that thumb's going to go right in that crease of your hip. You're going to draw that hip down, and then start to bring that leg across your body, maybe 2 or 3 inches. Try not to let this hip roll up. Draw it down, so you're getting into the outer hip, almost maybe even into the outer glute here. And breathe. Spread through the toes. Keep that leg nice and active. Lower belly draws in, tailbone lengthens. Exhale fully here. As you inhale, draw the leg back to center. Bend that knee. Take that ankle, cross it over your left knee. And then flex through both feet. Start to draw both knees towards your chest. So kind of a reclining figure 4, reclining pigeon. Place the hands behind the thigh, and then as you start to bring the knee closer to you, start to press that right elbow into the right thigh. And then again, see if you can create some space and length in that right side. So you're going to get more into the medial glute, more into the piriformis here a little bit, and then try to relax the shoulders. Again, if you're finding that this is really tight for you, like you really have tight muscles, this strap can go around the thigh. You can bend those elbows and then start to just draw the strap in. And then as you do that, you're using your left hand here. Take your right hand and just gently press it out. So you have that as an option too. One more big inhale here. Exhale fully. Inhale, slowly release that left leg to the floor. Exhale, right leg to the floor. Opposite side. So bending in that left knee into the chest. Squeezing it in, flex through the foot, just kind of squeezing into that hip flexor, getting into the glutes a little bit, into the hamstrings. And then going deeper into the hamstrings, either hand behind the thigh or hands go around the strap as that foot. Make sure it's the ball of the foot, not your sole of your foot goes right into that strap. Shoulders relax, legs engaged, belly's engaged, and maybe right leg straightens. So just kind of check in, notice where you are today. Be mindful of that. So don't let ego take in, say, oh, I should be able to do that because I did that before. Just go with what feels best for your body. So kind of know where your limits are, know where your edges are, and kind of just push the edge without injuring yourself. Over time, with this mindfulness into your practice, you will get better, you will improve, and you'll feel so much better because you haven't injured yourself. Exhale fully here. As you inhale, bring that strap into the right hand. Bring that left thumb into that elbow, into that hip crease, and draw that hip down and away. And then start to bring that leg across your body, maybe 2 or 3 inches. Keep attacking that left hip to the ground. So it draws down and toward the end of your mat. Shoulders are relaxed, breath is full. Exhale fully. Inhale, brings that leg back to center. Exhale, bending into that left knee. Take the left ankle over the right knee. And then flex the feet. Draw that right leg toward the chest. Hand comes either behind the thigh or maybe around the strap. And then draw that knee closer, pressing that left elbow or hand into the left thigh. So you're lengthening that left side away from you, shoulders relaxed, both feet flexed, and trying to draw that shin closer to your chest. And just kind of notice what happens if you put a little bit more weight toward the right rather than toward the left. You're probably going to get a little deeper stretch. Exhale fully here. Inhale, go ahead, release. Exhale, place both feet on the floor. So I said we needed to work into our hips, our hamstrings. We also need to strengthen our core. So not only our front, like our core includes our front body, side body, back body, hips, all the way up to your chest. So we're going to work on that front body for right now. Taking those legs, reach them up to the ceiling. Now if this is going to be too much for your back, bend your knees. All you're going to do now is then inhale, lift those shoulder blades up off the floor. Exhale, press the low back into the floor, and then just hold here. So neck grows long, Shoulder blades are lifting, lower belly's drawing in. Maybe start to curl those hips toward your shoulders. So instead of long back, you're curling in. Keep lifting. Maybe those legs go a little straighter. Maybe you curl so much that your hands and legs come in line. Good, keep looking up to those toes, spread. One more big inhale. And then as you exhale, draw the knees in, relax the head down. Nice big inhale. And exhale. Inhale, place those feet on the ground. Then as you exhale, bring the hands just so they're under your hips. And so again, depending on how your back's feeling, this helps me just keep my low back to the floor. It keeps my low belly engaged by putting my hands underneath my booty, so it's kind of closer to my glutes toward the end of my mat. And then I'm going to take my knees, draw them in. So take an inhale. And then as you exhale, straighten those legs out. So maybe you come to here and you start to lift that low back up. Press the low back in, pause there. Inhale draws you in. Exhale, extends you out. Maybe legs can go straight. Inhale, draw in. Exhale, extend straight. Inhale, draw in. You can add in, lift those shoulder blades up. Exhale, extend out. Inhale, draw in. Exhale, extend out. One more time. Inhale, draws in. Exhale, extends out. Pause there wherever you are. Whether it's lengthen, shoulders up, maybe shoulders down, maybe knees bent. Squeeze the knees, press that low back to the floor. One more big inhale. Exhale. Inhale, draws the knees in. Exhale, hug those knees. Give them a little squeeze. Feels good to work the core. Now we're going to work the back body. So we work the front body, back body now needs some work. So go ahead and roll over onto your belly. All the way onto the belly, pausing there. So we're going to do locust. If you can do full position the whole time, great, do that. We're going to go 3 different versions here. So from here, lengthen the toes. So you're going to lift up those hips, lengthen the tailbone down so that pubic bone drops to the floor. Lengthen the toes, press down into the toes. Take those hands, reach them back toward the toes. And then as you inhale, shoulders roll to ears. Exhale, shoulders away from the ears. Lengthen those hands toward your feet. So you're lifting your whole upper body. Lower body stays active and grounded. Pinky edges of your fingers lift to the ceiling. Top of the head lifts to the ceiling. One more big inhale. And as you exhale, release it down. Hands come down underneath the forehead. Rest the forehead on the hands. And take a breath. Come back to center. Adding on just the lower body this time. So from here, lengthen the tailbone again. Ground through the toes. Bring those hands by the side. This is going to help strengthen the upper back. Hands by the side. Shoulders roll back. Elbows draw in. Think of pinching those shoulder blades onto the back, but keep the chest on the floor. And then slowly inhale, lift those toes. If this is too much for your shoulders, you can always drop your forehead to the floor, but keep lifting the shoulders. Point through the toes, lift those heels, really use the glutes, use the hamstrings, spread through the toes. One more big inhale. Stay to exhale. Inhale, slowly releases the legs. Exhale, hands back underneath the forehead, resting the forehead down. Take a break, maybe shake the hips. Adding on. Full locust here. Coming back to center, ground through those toes. Plant the hands by the side, lengthen the tailbone, and then extend those hands back. As you inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift through the pinky edges, and then exhale, hover the feet. Good, draw in through the lower belly, top of the head lifts to the ceiling. Keep lengthening through those toes. Keep lifting up through the shoulders, pinkies, and heels. One more big inhale. Stay to exhale. Inhale, slowly releases. Exhale, hands underneath the forehead one last time. Rocking those hips a little side to side. Exhale fully here. And then bring those hands by the side. Tuck the toes, press yourself back, hands and knees. And then draw those knees nice and wide. Bring the big toes to touch. Press it back into child's pose. And then reach out to those arms. Stretch out through that low back. Just kind of check in again. Notice how you're feeling here. Notice how that's doing in the low back. Nice full breaths. Sometimes that can be a challenge, but that's the part that sometimes really needs to be strengthened. We have so many little muscles back there that they really need to be strengthened each day and really being checked in with as you move in your movements every day. Exhale fully here. Pressing into those hands, inhale, shift your weight forward. And then as you exhale, straighten those legs, come to plank. So pause there, shoulders over wrists. Press into those hands, inner thighs lift. Lengthen the tailbone down. Heart goes forward while you look forward. Take one more big inhale. As you exhale, keep the hands right where they are. Lift the hips, downward facing dog. Press into those hands, maybe pedal the feet. Again, check in with those hips and hamstrings, kind of check in how they're feeling. And breathe. And then come to a nice still downward dog. Shoulders away from the ears, triceps roll to the floor. Press in with those hands, lift the tailbone, inner thighs spiral back, heels press straight back. One more big inhale. Exhale. Inhale, shifts the weight forward to plank. Exhale, bring those knees down. Do a few rounds of cat-cow to loosen up the spine. So on your next inhale, let the belly drop. Shoulders roll back, gaze goes up. As you exhale, pressing those hands around the spine, chin to chest. Couple more times here. Inhale, shoulders roll back. As you exhale, press the hands, lengthen the tailbone to the floor. One more time here. Inhale, belly drops. Lengthen up, look up. Exhale, press those hands around the spine. Inhale comes to flat back. And then as you exhale, take that right foot, step it forward. So again, if your low back's bothering you, always have those blocks. You can use those blocks to hold on to. And then from here, you're going to tuck the back toe, straighten that back leg, and then inch that foot back a little bit so that front knee's right over the front ankle, and then drop the back knee. Pause here. Shoulders roll back. Press those hips forward. And then if it feels okay, maybe hands to knee. Roll the shoulders back. Pull in through the lower belly. And then maybe arms reach up. Breathe. So take your position, whatever's going to be best for you. Nice big breaths. One more big inhale here, so we're getting into that front body again. And then exhale, hands to the blocker floor. Inhale, straightens the back leg. As you exhale, draw that left hip forward, right hip back. Chest goes forward, lower belly draws in. So creating a little bit of heat. Maybe hands hover. Breathe. And then on your next inhale, bend the back knee, reach those arms up again, crescent lunge. So front knee's right over that front ankle. Lower belly draws in, lift up through the chest. So depending on your low back, this back knee might need to be bent a lot. You're trying to keep the pelvis lifted rather than hinging forward, trying to straighten that back leg. So as you get better in the low back, lower belly draws in, back leg straightens, press through those heels. One more big inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, hands to your hips. And then as you exhale, take that left foot, drop it to the floor. Check that your front heel, your back arch are in a nice line, your back foot's parallel to the edge of the mat, front toes point to the front of the mat, and then bend, stacking that front knee over that front ankle. And then try to think of widening through the hips. So you're trying to draw those hip bones away from one another. And then take those arms, reach them out. If you're feeling some pinching in the low back, draw lower belly in, lengthen tailbone down. Then gaze over those front fingers. Warrior two. Big inhale here. Stay to exhale. Inhale, takes that right elbow, bring it toward the right thigh. Now if this feels okay for you, you can bring your hand to the block or the floor on the inside, but maybe stay here. Lift up out of that bottom shoulder. Take that top arm, reach it straight up. Drawing those right ribs toward the left as that left hip draws back. Good, nice big breaths. Gaze can look forward or look up. One more big inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, looking down. As you exhale, circle that left hand all the way down to the block or floor. Square the hips. Pause for a moment, take an inhale. And then exhale, place that back knee down. Remove those blocks, step the right foot back. Find your hand placement, straighten those legs, come to plank. Finding that strength, inner thighs draw up, heart comes forward, belly draws in. Big inhale. And exhale, press it back, downward dog. Few breaths here. Spread those fingers wide. Press in with each knuckle, allowing those shoulders to draw away from the ears, the spine to lengthen. Lower belly draws in. Exhale fully. Inhale, shifts the weight forward to plank. Exhale, knees down to the floor. Again, cat-cow. Inhale, belly drop, shoulders roll back. Exhale, press and round. Again, inhale, neck grows long, pinch the shoulder blades together. And then exhale, press and round, broaden through the shoulder blades. One last time here. Inhale, lower belly draws in. Exhale, keep that lower belly drawing in, lengthen the tailbone down. Inhale, lengthens you out. As you exhale, lift those hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift the weight forward back to plank. Exhale, knees down. And then take that left foot, step it forward. Pausing here. Roll the shoulders back. Take that back leg, inch it back just a little bit to that front knees over front ankle. And then maybe either hands to blocks. Lower belly draws in. Press those hips forward. Press in with both feet. Maybe hands to hips. So again, you're getting into that hip flexor there. Keep pressing into the front foot to resist that right hip drawing forward too much. And then keep drawing in through the lower belly, lengthen the tailbone, maybe arms reach up. I find that having this area, my hip flexors, my psoas specifically, having that nice and long and having it stretched out really helps with my low back pain. One more big inhale here. Stay to exhale. Inhale, hands come all the way down to the block or floor. Straighten the back leg, adjust the feet so that front knee is right over that front ankle. Lift up through the lower belly, draw that right hip slightly forward, lean forward, and then bend into the back knee. Inhale, takes those arms up. Pausing there as you exhale. So draw in through the lower belly, lengthen that tailbone, lift through the chest, and then see how it feels to slowly start to straighten that back leg. If you start to straighten the back leg and start to pitch forward, keep bending into that back knee, lifting up through the chest. Good, one more big inhale. Stay to exhale. Inhale, hands come to the hips. As you exhale, take that right foot, drop it to the floor. So heel and arch align. Stack those hips, find a little bit more weight in the back leg, keep it nice and active, and then make sure that front knee drops right over that front ankle. Knee's gonna wanna come into the inside, draw it toward the outside, lengthen the tailbone down, and then spread through those fingers. Gaze is over those front fingers. Try to draw the shoulders away from the ears. Full breath. One more big inhale. Stay to exhale. Inhale, bend that left elbow. Place it to the thigh, to the block, or the floor on the inside. Take an inhale, reach that top arm straight up. As you exhale, see if you can draw that right hip slightly back while lengthening the tailbone down. Arm reaches up, bottom arm lifts up out of that bottom leg. Maybe gaze goes up. One more big inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, looking down. As you exhale, circle that right hand all the way to the block or floor. Square the hips. Pause there, take an inhale. And then exhale, back knee down. Bring the hands to the floor, step that left foot back. Tuck the toes, press it back, downward dog. Take a nice deep inhale here. And exhale. Inhale, shifts the weight forward. Exhale, knees down, make them wide, come back to that child's pose. Just kind of notice, is there any differences in this child's pose compared to the other one? to the first one we did. Tailbone lengthens, maybe rock a little bit from side to side. Exhale fully here. Inhale, shifts the weight forward. And as you exhale, come to a seated position. So with this next one, you're gonna have a couple options for when you're seated. So as you're seated here, you, depending on how your hips are feeling, you're gonna bring those legs out. Take the right leg first, cross it over the left. And just see how that feels. If you can, lean toward the left, bring that left foot back by your right hip. And then see how that feels. If that's too much for your knee, keep that leg extended out. Sit up nice and tall, hug that knee toward the shoulder. So right knee, front knee comes toward that shoulder. Just hug it in. The more you hug it in, the deeper you're getting into that hip. So we're not really working on the twist of the upper back right now. We're just working on feeling that hip stretch here. So you're dropping that right hip down, hugging the knee in. It's trying to bring that leg kind of across your body. So if we were to have the leg straight, it would be the same idea, lifting, twisting, hugging in. So you're just really hugging it in. I like to hug it in, I like to press in, I like to bring it in nice and close. Then I always like to look over my front shoulder. No need, I'm not really doing a twist here. We'll get to a twist in a moment, don't worry. Exhale fully. Inhale, go ahead and unwind the arms and leg. Exhale, take that right leg out, left leg out if it was on the bottom, and then take that left leg on the top. And then if you can, see how it feels, roll to the right, and then see if you can bring that right foot back. See how this feels. Press into the bottom foot, lift the chest, hug the knee, shoulder to knee. Hug it in, drop that left hip. Good, so you keep hugging it in, drawing it in. Maybe your hand comes to your elbow. You're really dropping that hip down while you're twisting. Because it's easy to twist and keep the hip up. You're not really gonna feel much, but dropping that hip down, you definitely get more into the twist. And again, if my leg were straight, same idea, lifting the chest, lower belly draws in, and keep hugging. So as this kind of diminishes, try to bring that foot back a little bit more, and that's going to help you get a little deeper into the stretch. One more big inhale. Exhale. Inhale, slowly unwind those legs. Exhale, extend the legs out. And then from here, you're going to come to laying on your back. Bring your block with you. So we're going to do a supported bridge. So we're going to lay down onto your back, taking that block. And then you're going to take that block and you're going to bring it right into your sacrum, your low back area. So you're going to press into those heels, lift the hips, and place that block right there in that sacrum, above your booty, below your low back. Find some support. And if you feel like the block's going to be a little too hard for you today, you can take a blanket and roll that over it, or you can just take a bolster and place it under your hips. Just get a little bit of support there. Your hips are lifted. Press into those heels. Press into the elbows. Draw the shoulder blades together on the back. And then let those arms rest by your side. So a little supported bridge pose. Lower belly draws in. Activity in the legs slightly. Full breaths here. And it feels natural to close your eyes, so let your eyes close. Let your breath become full. And with this pose over time, if you want, you can always lift your block up to the higher level. So you have 3 levels with it. If you have the low level, the mid level we're on now, or the higher level. So you have different levels for this depending on how your back's feeling. And then if you're like me, week to week it's different. Some weeks are awesome, and there's a week here or two that is just a little iffy. There's some times when I feel like too much movement's gonna aggravate it, so I take it easy. Exhale fully here. Press into the balls of the feet. So slide your feet in, press into those balls of the feet. Lift the hips. As you lift the hips, lengthen the tailbone so you're not compressing the low back. And then releasing those legs, bringing them down. Bring those feet hip distance apart, wider, as wide as your mat. Let those hands rest by your side. Let the knees come up. And then as you exhale, drop both knees to the left. And then coming back to center. And exhale over to the left, or to the right, opposite way. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Feel free to pause. Sometimes I like to pause and lift the hip away from the mat a little bit, get deeper into the hip. And then over to the other side. Just stay with your breath. Do what feels good here. And then going into that twist I promised you. Bring those feet back to normal, back to center. Bring both feet together. Draw both knees in toward the chest. Keep your arms on the ground. Even turn those palms down. So use a little bit of core. Draw those knees as close as you can toward your chest. And then drop both knees toward the right armpit. Good. So draw them in. Squeeze it in to begin. Draw that left shoulder down. Pull in through the lower belly. And then on your next exhale, relax those legs down. Maybe that right hand can press down onto that top of that left thigh. And keep dropping that left shoulder back. If you find this is too much for your low back, you have that block again. So you can take your block, put it under your hips so you have a little bit of support so it's not twisting so deep. Exhale fully here. Engage the core. Inhale, draws those knees up. Exhale, hug them in a little bit deeper using that low belly. And then as you exhale, drop those knees toward the left. So maybe you get to here and your back is one of those weeks and it's feeling a little loose and unstable. Bring the block underneath so you can pause there. Drop that right shoulder to the floor. Maybe look over your right shoulder. Keep drawing in through the lower belly and then relax those legs. If you're all the way on the ground, want a deeper stretch. That top hand can draw down, but keep drawing in through the lower belly. Exhale fully here. Engage through the core. Inhale, lifts those knees up. And as you exhale, hug those knees in. And then my favorite pose, happy baby. Draw those knees wide, flex the feet up. Grab either for the heel edges if your back's feeling a little tender. If you're doing okay, pinky edges, draw the knees wide, press the elbows into those shins, and let those knees drop down. Lengthen the tailbone, shoulders relax. Resist the hands and feet against one another. Take one more big breath here, holding. Stay to exhale. And then rock it around. From side to side, massaging into that low back. Keep pressing in with those elbows into the shins. Doesn't this just feel good? Really one of my favorites, at least for my back. Exhale fully here. As you inhale, take those arms and legs up to the ceiling, give them a little shake, and then slowly bend the knees. Bring the soles of the feet to the ground. Press in with those elbows, and you're going to take a block, a bolster, a pillow, something that's going to go across the width of your thighs. So I like to take my blanket and roll it up. You can have two pillows, you can have two blankets, you can even use your blocks. And you're going to take that, place it underneath your thighs. So it's near your knees, but nice and underneath there so you have a little bit of support. That way then you can press into your elbows, lengthen your tailbone down, and then let those legs relax. If you still feel like you need more support, you can always rest your feet up on a chair. You can use the blocks, whatever you need. Elbows are still pressing in, shoulder blades drop under, arms come by the side. And take rest here, Shavasana. Bring that intention back to mind. That intention from the beginning of practice, that strength, stability, health, whatever you set as your intention. Scan over the body with that intention, noticing if that intention settled within you. And keeping that intention throughout your Shavasana here. If your mind wanders, bring it back to the breath, back to the intention, back to the relaxing of your body. Let any breath go. Let it be natural and light. Let your body be relaxed and open. Taking rest here for a few more moments in silence. Taking rest. next breath to come in a little deeper. On your next breath, bring some movement into the fingers and toes, maybe even the wrists and ankles. And on your next breath, reach your arms back behind your head, slide your feet together, give yourself a nice long stretch. And then slowly bend the knees. I like to place the knees on top of that bolster, and as you exhale, give yourself one more windshield wiper to each side. Bring some circulation back to that lower back. And then draw those knees into the chest, give them a little squeeze, rocking around. And then when you're ready, using your arm as a pillow, roll over to your favorite side. Pause here for a moment, keeping the eyes closed if you can. Just scanning over the body, especially those hips, low back, those hamstrings. Just checking in, noticing any subtle shifts or changes. And then when you're ready, using that top arm, extend the top leg, mindfully press yourself up using both hands. Come all the way back up to a comfortable seat. And I always like to use a prop whenever I sit. It's just much more comfortable on my back. My hips aren't as open. So bringing those hips up, pause for a moment, bring your hands to your heart center. Allow yourself to be in the room, on your mat, and in your body. Reminding yourself of your intention one more time, and allowing the strength and energy and the breath from this practice to help you with that intention every time you feel your back bothering you. Knowing that strength is within you, sometimes all you need is a couple extra breaths to help you settle that intention of strength and stability into that low back. We'll seal it in with one Om. Take a nice deep inhale. Letting your lips curl up into a smile as you raise your head. Thank you for joining me today. Drink lots of water, eat your veggies, and wear some sunblock. Take care of that low back, and we'll see you again soon. Namaste.